by thanking the Hoboken Public Library for allowing us to have these fabulous hybrid classes during the time of pandemic. It is terrific that we can enjoy our creative process in the safety and privacy of our own home, as well as here in person at the Hoboken Library. So kudos to Hoboken Library and to our favorite Hoboken librarian, Laura Nattel, who is with us today as our tech support person. Woohoo! Thank you, Laura. All right, my name is Liz, and I am here today to help us continue celebrating National Poetry Month. And today we're going to start by talking about a specific visual artist, because this artist inspired a poet. And the artist's name is Paul Cezanne. He is an artist that I'm guessing many of you are familiar with. He is a French impressionist. He's one of the luckier artists in the canon of Western European art history because his daddy was rich. His father was a banker. And although they had a falling out at the early start of his life, and his father was not in favor of Cezanne becoming an artist, later in Cezanne's career, they came to an understanding, and his father did support Cezanne throughout his career and left Cezanne with quite a bit of inheritance, so that Cezanne never really struggled financially in his life. And that enabled him to become incredibly free in his work. In fact, Cezanne was quite a groundbreaker in European art history. So what I'd like to do first is open up our slideshow. You can get rid of this, or at least minimize it. Open up our slideshow so that I can share with you some images of Cezanne's work while I talk very briefly about some of the key highlights of his life. If you have anyone in your life who works for Zoom, I continue to encourage Zoom to figure out an easier way to share the screen. My personal hope for the future of technology. All right, here we go. Folks at home, can you see the image on the screen? Thank you, Dina, for the 2 thumbs up. I just have to move the toolbar, which I can't seem to do. Oh, never mind. Right, I still have the toolbar. Here we go. Good morning, Daniel. All right. You can also, if you know anybody who works for Zoom, tell them how to get rid of this toolbar thingy. I find it incredibly annoying. Okay, well, I can't do anything about it. Paul Cezanne was a painter. He was born in 1839, January 19th. He was a French artist and post-impressionist painter. He really laid the foundation for the transition from traditional classical Western European art to what we think of now as contemporary modern European art. And he was the bridge. He really was the precursor for Cubism. And people like Picasso and Matisse say without Paul Cezanne, there would be no modern art. And some of the things when looking at this painting that might help you to understand how that possibly could be are things like the fact that Cezanne simplified the objects that he painted down to their basic geometric shape. For example, I can't really use my cursor, unfortunately, in the slideshow. So I can't really point out to you, but notice how very basic looking the fruit is and how he has outlined most of the fruit with a darker shadow. This has flattened and made the image more geometric. So he's made the fruit, the plates, even the table itself into flat geometric form, which helps you to see how he was the bridge to things like cubism and more modern aesthetics of understanding the picture plane. He used very repetitive, thick brushstrokes. You can see the marks, the textures of the brushstrokes that he used, very similar to Van Gogh, who we talked about last week. Okay, this is one of his still lifes. Now we're moving on to one of his landscapes. Cezanne is famous for both landscape and still life. And when you look at this particular landscape, you can see how Cezanne is moving away from realism towards abstraction. It's almost difficult to see that it's actually a landscape at all. There's some indication of buildings in the bottom left-hand corner, but as you recede back into space, as things get further and further away towards the horizon line, they get blurrier and blurrier and more abstract. If I could move the toolbar, you could see the peak of the mountaintop, but the mountaintop really is blending into the sky, isn't it? You can barely even see it in this composition. Some notes about landscape work. Notice that the brighter, more intense colors are in the front or the foreground of the image. As you recede back into space, the color starts to fade. The shapes change. Bigger shapes are in the front, in the foreground, smaller shapes in the back, just like in real life. When you're standing at one end of the railroad tracks and you're looking off into the distance, things get smaller as you look further away, and they get duller in color as you get further away. Cezanne was born in Provence, and he loved Provence. He continued to go back to Provence his entire life. And in fact, I believe he died in Provence. As I mentioned, he received a large inheritance at the death of his father, which enabled him to be financially stable throughout his life. His mother was the person he believes that he got his whole conception and vision of life from. She was very vivacious, apparently, and quite a romantic. She had a short temper and was quick to take offense to things. In the 1860s, Cezanne met the Impressionist Camille Pissarro, whom we've spoken of in the past, and they became quite good friends. Cezanne called him the master. Pizarro became his mentor. Okay, let's look at some more work. All right, another one of Cezanne's landscapes. Notice again how he has flattened his shapes and forms. There is very little, there is some, but very little use of shading in his work, and everything is simplified to its basic geometric shape. Although he does love texture, so you really get a sense of the rough surface of the buildings, for example, the rough texture of the rock on the little hill on the left side of the painting, and the foliage and vegetation on top of the hill. Okay, throughout his life, he struggled to develop an authentic observation of the seen world by the most accurate method of representing it in paint that he could find. And to this end, he structurally ordered whatever he perceived into simple forms and color planes, as I said. His statement, and I quote, "I want to make of Impressionism something solid and lasting, like the art in the museums." You do need to remember that Impressionism, at the time Cezanne was coming up in the art world, Impressionism was thought to be extraordinarily revolutionary. It was not accepted in the larger art world, nor was it accepted by the common, average, everyday European. It was thought to be really not very nice work at all. So Cezanne was really working hard to make it acceptable to the public at large. In 1863, he showed his work for the first time in the Salon des Refusés. It was the first major exhibition of Impressionist work, and he continued to submit work to the Salon until 1862. In 1895, he exhibited twice with the Impressionists, at the first Impressionist exhibition in 1874 and the third Impressionist exhibition in 1877. Here's one of his glorious still lifes. He really, I think, understood color in a way that many artists do not. And I don't know if it's of interest to anyone here, but Cezanne for me was a very powerful influence in the beginning of my art studies. He and Van Gogh, I credit a lot for helping me decide to become a professional artist and an art teacher. I absolutely, Cezanne's work takes my breath away. I think it's just so beautiful. There's something about the simplicity of it, the glorious color. I don't know. It moves me. Any thoughts from anyone else? What do you think of this painting?
The intensity of it are amazing, and that darker outline is and you've often said that when I've done a painting, put a darker outline on it, it's changed the whole feeling.
It really does.
But and the background there, which is not, it's less formed, yet it's supportive of the brilliance. It's amazing. And the white sheet or whatever that is.
Very nice observations, Robin. I agree. So the color is so intense, and the dark outline that he employs really brings that color out. He and Van Gogh were masters of the outline. Van Gogh used blue for the color of his outline, but Cezanne uses this much darker color, closer to black. And yes, the background in this piece it's a little bit confusing even. You're not quite sure what you're looking at, but it does really enhance the foreground and support the composition of the still life. I also love the way he's rendered the folds in the fabric. I like how they don't look soft. They look more kind of edgy and hard to me, almost as if they're made out of something like steel as opposed to fabric. That's how I read it. And that always attracted me to his work. Okay. And in the late 1800s, this has always fascinated me about Cezanne. He was gaining in public recognition. He was becoming quite famous. And at that point in his life, he withdrew from the public eye and he moved to Provence, very far from Paris, and really became less and less sociable and devoted himself entirely to his work, continuing with portraits, landscapes, and his studies of bathers. So he did do figurative work as well. I don't have any of those to look at today. I chose not to show them. I'm not sure why, but I did. One last thing I want to talk about in this still life, and that's the depth that he's created. Even though he's flattened the still life imagery, the way he's angled the table and whatever that piece of furniture is in the back, I think it's probably a bed. The way the angles oppose each other, I don't know if folks at home can see what I'm doing with my hands, but the way the angles oppose each other, I think is quite interesting. So they don't make sense as far as Renaissance perspective goes, but they really help to make the composition of this painting very interesting. All right, another one of his landscapes. I'm gonna really jump forward at this point. His landscapes, his portraits were drawn from that which was familiar, so that not only his wife and son, but local peasants, children, and his art dealer often served as his subjects. And then I'm jumping to that very quickly to the end of his life. Cezanne one day was caught in a storm while he was painting outdoors in a field. And after working for 2 hours, I don't know why he continued to work outside in the rain, and he was an elderly man. After 2 hours, he decided to go home. But on the way home, he collapsed. When he returned home, his housekeeper rubbed his arms and legs and revived him, restored his circulation, and he regained consciousness. However, on the following day, he continued to work and later on fainted. The model who was sitting for him called for help. He was put to bed and he never revived. He died a few days later on October 22nd, 1906 of pneumonia at the age of 67. He was buried at Saint-Pierre Cemetery in his hometown of Aix-en-Provence. So his landscapes, again, are kind of ephemeral, not very realistic. You have to really look twice at this painting to really even realize that there are trees and ground and sky. They almost have, to me, a spooky quality. There's a lot of movement in this composition. Another still life. He's doing that thing again with the angles of the table, which I find quite wonderful. Also, the way he lets the table run off the edge of the page on the left side of the image, to me, is quite exciting. That until that particular period of time in art history, very few artists were doing things like that. Another landscape. I'd forgive there are these copyright marks all over this picture, so it really distorts the image. So sorry about that. Love the color in this one. Another still life. He was really, nobody paints apples and peaches quite like Cezanne. He was the master. So this, in fact, may be the last image. I'm going to click once more and I'll come back if it is. Yeah, it is. So we can leave this image up. This is the picture that has inspired our poet for today. And I want to make it bigger, so I'm going to go back to the beginning and hit play and just scroll through really fast to get to the end. This painting inspired the poet Allen Ginsberg, born and raised right here in, guess where, New Jersey, Paterson, New Jersey. Inspired him to write a poem that I'm going to read in a moment. I think I have it with me. Let's keep our fingers crossed. I know I have it. I have it on my screen. But I'm going to talk briefly about Ginsberg before reading the poem. He was a student Ginsberg was born June 3rd, 1926. He died April 5th, 1997. He was a student at Columbia in the 40s, where he started a friendship with William S. Burroughs and Jack Kerouac. And the three of them formed the core group of what we know as the Beat generation. They were beatniks. And he vigorously opposed militarism, economic materialism, and sexual repression. And he showed various aspects of this in his counterculture work and in his views on drugs, sex, multiculturalism, and hostility to bureaucracy. And he was very open to Eastern religions. He became a Buddhist. He is best known for his poem Howl, which denounced the destructive forces of capitalism and conformity in the United States. He lived very modestly in New York City. He wore only secondhand clothing. He became a student of a Tibetan Buddhist monk and started the Naropa Institute in Boulder, Colorado with this individual. They also started the Jack Kerouac School of Disembodied Poets in 1974 in Colorado. So Ginsberg was very active in protests throughout his life, starting with anti-war, anti-Vietnam War protests, and he was very much against the war on drugs. He was a Pulitzer Prize finalist in 1995 for his book Cosmopolitan Greetings, Poems, Poems, 1986 through 1992. All right, here comes the poem. So I'm going to stop the share. I don't know where my cursor has gone. Show Laura some technical advice. If I can't find my cursor, how do I stop the share? Thank you. We're getting some technical assistance, so bear with us, please. It's definitely reacting to my touch, but
bum, 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 bum. So, oh, your cursor's not working? Oh,
There it is. She found it. See, she's a genius, Laura. Thank you. All right, so I thought I had printed out the poem so I could read it while you look at the picture. Bear with me one more minute, everybody. Because I'll be cranky if I can't find it. You don't want me to be cranky, right? Now, I did not print out the poem. So I'm going to read the poem and then put up the picture quickly. Huh? E wrote something in the chat. Okay, let me check the chat, everyone. E has shared the shade of my sweater is the same shade of the sky in the painting that inspired today's poem. That was not deliberate. That was serendipitous. But thank you, E. You are right. It's a strange blue. It's kind of a grayish blue. Okay, here's the poem. It's a nice short poem. And try and keep in mind the image that we just looked at of the beautiful landscape. And I guess I can share the poem so everyone can see the words as I read it. And then I'm going to share the picture of the painting again. Here we go. By Allen Ginsberg, the title of the poem is Cezanne's Ports. In the foreground, we see time and life swept in a race toward the left-hand side of the picture where shore meets shore. But that meeting place isn't represented. It doesn't occur on the canvas. For the other side of the bay is heaven and eternity, with a bleak white haze over its mountains. And the immense water of Les Stacks is a go-between for minute rowboats. Okay, so I'm now going to show the painting again, which is here. And the name of the painting is the Gulf of Marseille, overlooking the port of Les Stacks. Anyone here ever been to Marseille? I have never been. Oh, several people. Is this what it looks like? You can see. I'm not crazy about this image that I've copied. The image in the slideshow is better, but so be it. This is what it looks like, Marseille? No. This reproduction is not the best, folks. This is a commercial reproduction for sale. Probably on Artsy. But I think Ginsberg's poem really reflects perhaps what Cezanne was trying to convey, that eternity is on the other side of the image. The beauty of what you can see from the top of this hill is hopefully maybe what paradise is going to look like. I'm so unhappy with this image. Let me see if I have a better image to share. I think, yeah, the blue in that picture was not true at all. I'm with you, Robin. Where is my Cezanne folder? Here. It's a matter of finding the right picture. Here we go. Yeah. Let's open this up. Whoops. Oh, I could have reopened the slideshow, which would have been faster. So sorry, everyone. Do I want this picture or this picture? Let's try this one. No, this one. Yeah. Yeah, much, much better. So this is the painting that inspired Allen Ginsberg to write his poem, Cezanne's Ports. Nice, right?
When I read that poem at home, it just made me look at this painting in a completely different way than I'd ever thought to look at it.
Which,
So cool, the way that
which I'm
painting-
thinking is probably what Ginsberg intended for us to do, to go and revisit the visual image and see it in a different way. So great. He makes reference to tiny rowboats, and I've been searching. Every time I look at this painting, I'm desperately seeking tiny rowboats, but I don't see them. If anybody else sees them, there's a pier over here. This could be a boat here, but I'm not sure. And I'm not sure why that even matters to me. All right, any last minute thoughts about Cezanne, his life, the fact that he was so pivotal to the beginning of modern art, I think is pretty wonderful. No thoughts. Okay. I'm going to leave this image up because today one of your options is to create a landscape. You can find a landscape online. You can use Cezanne as your inspiration and copy one of his landscapes. I even invite you today to create a landscape from your imagination, which I don't ordinarily do, but you may. I want you to use watercolors if you have them available to you. If not, Robin, you've already started. Don't worry about it if you're using a different media. Maybe you could do mixed media. You could add watercolor to what you're doing now. And the other option for today is to do still life. You can look at the still lifes that Cezanne created and copy. I copied Cezanne's still lifes over and over and over again when I was an art student, and I learned so much from him by doing that. I want to repeat, I've said it a million times, one of the best ways to learn about your own skill and style is to copy another artist. So there's nothing wrong in the art world with copying. You know, in grade school, they always told us, don't copy. I'm telling you, copying is good. If you don't want to copy Cezanne, those of you who are here, there's a bowl of fruit at the back that Laura has been kind enough to supply us with. Take a piece of fruit, use it, add to it objects you may have in your bag, and create your own small still life. I want you, if possible, I would prefer that you draw from life or copy a Cezanne still life or landscape. Any questions about what we're doing today? Those of you at home, obviously your options for still life are whatever you got in your house. You can set up a still life. I recommend you do fruit because that was Cezanne's favorite thing to do. Rummage around in your refrigerator or your fruit basket, fruit bowl, and try and create a still life. No questions? Let's go to work. Those of you here, paper, watercolors, drawing equipment is at the back. And we have, I think, a lot of time today, no? Well, we got the usual. Have fun, and I will check in with folks at home from time to time, as I always do. You can always leave messages for me in the chat or just unmute and let me know you need help, please. Judy, you got the directions? You heard me? Okay, so. You can do a still life. Make your own still life with this and things you have in your bag. So still life, take objects and things and put them together. Like Cezanne did with the fruit, bowl of fruit. Take things from your bag and put them together to copy. Yeah. For the line, share those. Yeah. So any kind of object is any kind of object. He loved doing fruit, so you can do that too. Okay, thank you. Or you want to copy Cezanne's work? You could copy them. If you would prefer doing landscape, I want you today to use color. You can start with pencil and then move to color. Okay, you good name? Thank you very much. And there's watercolor paper and there's water. Okay. And not blue. Thank you. You're very welcome. You got it, Alice? Yeah. Thanks. I don't know what color you make that. I know. Don't stop it. I'll make it whole. Oh, folks at home, the babies are coming through. If you hear a lot of chatter, kids. Good. Yes, it's so revolutionary. Sally, you okay? Yeah, you can do it that way. Yeah, she started before I gave her the reg. Didn't even hear the direction. Yeah, wet the paper, doing it exactly right. So are you. It's Susan. Yeah, but I want you to. Yes. I just need my back. I just had to do. Those of you who are into acrylics, these are the best. Golden acrylics are the best. They're a little pricey, but you can get them on sale. Yes. If you collect ones from you about sometimes Michael. What, Eileen? About 5 years ago. Yes. Free golden acrylic. Still have them at our gallery at Hobart. What was his name? I love him. Kinzer. Roy Kinzer. He's a great artist. He has a studio. Is he still in Hoboken? The guy who invented golden paint and now runs the company lives in Hoboken. Yeah, on Hudson Street, right? I don't know where he lives. Yeah, I've been in this. He's rich enough to own a house. I've been in it. I've been in it. Gigantic. Oh, like that. I love the landscape you did last. Predict success. This is true. How are my artists at home? Any questions about the directions? You know what you're going to do today? Stephanie, can you stay for the whole class today, or you're rushing off to your pastel?
Yeah, I'm going to do the pastels at 11.
Oh, okay. Oh,
It's very good. I loved it. I love Cezanne. Beautiful.
isn't he amazing?
Amazing. Thanks, Liz.
Well, people don't realize how incredibly courageous he was. I think it helps that, you know, he was financially secure his whole life.
Well, I agree. Totally.
Yeah. But he was, well, but then you think about Van Gogh, who was not, and he was equally, if not more, courageous.
Oh, but he had other issues.
He did, but I mean, Van Gogh, even starving to death, was extraordinarily innovative and courageous for his time.
Right.
All right, have fun.
Thanks.
Send me JPEGs.
Oh, I will.
Good.
For
I'm
asking.
glad you finally got on.
There was an issue with AOL, evidently.
Yeah, I continue to use AOL because I can't transfer all my contacts to Gmail, but
Right.
everyone tells me I'm nuts.
I know, I agree, but I don't know. I've been with them forever.
Right. All right, well, have fun.
Okay, thank you.
Continue walking around here. Alice, what's going on, Alice? Everyone else at home, looking good. You're all focused. Doris, you're good. Yeah. Margot, good. Dina,
Good.
E, you're good.
I'm good.
Good. Good. You do, I will be on it. These are- Right. Comes me to change my look.
And when you look at it, it's very different.
This is a good thing that Alice just pointed out. Digital colors lie. Very often, what you see online is not even close to the real color of the painting. So keep that in mind. If you would have the opportunity or the physical wherewithal to go to a museum and see the artwork in person, it's always preferable. Let's not take a field trip to Provence. Maybe the library will stake us a picture. They've done everything else for us. Why not a free trip? I think we could just say we need to practice. Nous avons besoin de pratiquer notre français. Oui, oui. Yeah, so we're missing a lot of people today because they are traveling. Lucky folks. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh.
Five. Yeah, there are a lot of Cezanne paintings. The good news is they're all very similar. So you choose one, and show them. That's a good one. I'm gonna say black and white for you. You can see when you look at this. You should see what it knows.
No, what the table is. Yeah.
There's a deep connection between Picasso, Matisse, and Cezanne. Think about this. People like Cezanne broke all the rules, but he had to learn them first. So those of you who desire perfection in work, when it comes time to break the rules, it may be a little bit harder for you, but at least you know what you're doing. Did you hear that, Eileen? Again? Cezanne broke all the rules, but only because he learned them first. And your desire for perfection means that when it comes time to break the rules, you're going to know what you're doing.
Already, I'm taking all these chances.
But that makes me happy to hear you
Another
say.
thing, I'm not, what was it? Oh, I'm very happy. Probably. I used to hate having all the stuff around everything, and I thought I wanted the only thing, sure, but the whole thing around it. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
Yeah, and I don't put the thing in the middle, I think things
Up to one side.
yeah. It's fun.
That was cool the way Cezanne lets the table run off the edge of the page. Those of you who've heard me say it before, particularly when you're doing figurative work, you don't have to fit the entire figure on the page. It's much more interesting when you let the model's foot disappear, or their hand or their elbow not be in the picture. Because the viewer walking by suddenly goes, whoa, what's going on? Why isn't the full figure there?
Because it's probably just used to show that the artist can't draw a detail.
Well, that's what we think intellectually, but visually, it really engages our mind to think, what is going on? This is a mystery. This is an enigma. And that's what makes it great art, I believe. It doesn't show that they don't have the skill to draw the missing part. It makes me wonder why they left it off. But that's me. It's my opinion. It's very nice, but starting over is a good way to practice. Okay, but don't forget to look at what you're drawing. Draw what you see, not what you think you see. It's so much fun to experiment mixing.
Yes. Yeah, it worked. But anyway,
This is just tried my color. Sally, perfect beginning, doing great. Yeah, this is the right color. It's a little more intense in the water, a little bit dark. Now, this color is not the true color. On the big screen, it's closer to the true color of it. So it's not quite so bright as on your phone. Yeah, it's a little bit dark. I like how you, this is a breakthrough for you. The fact that you covered the whole page first, left no white showing. Terrific, terrific. This. I don't even know what to say. Yes, wet the paper, drop the color in, let the colors run all over. And once it dries, the thing will. Good. Maybe you still like the
Yes.
thing. Yes. Can I? Do you think it would help if I made the arrangement for you? Or are you having fun making?
No, I'll.
And then this, because you're having so much fun, there's your object. Little consumer.
That's right. You got that.
This is arbitrary. We got to put things away. I think.
Oh, I know. This one is definitely one thing.
It's a nice. Okay. Even if you just do your sketch, they'll be wonderful. Mika, you and I, we have this need to bring. Helps you control, being control. This is very good too. Very good. Getting the perspective things so well. Good. Good. Wondering, sorry, are you gonna put anything here? No, it's not part of it. Very good. You could, sure. You could even cut it. Do you want a pair of scissors? Oh. It's always there to help. So amazing. I love you. All right, home artist. My homies, how are you today?
Good, very good.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Good. I am going to take swift break, everybody. I shall return in a minute or two.
Okay.
Go home?
No. Resolution number. It's an ordinance. What I want to do is state the name. I'm not speaking. But if you're in favor, state your name, say, I live in Milwaukee, please vote. Oh, is this a good one? Yeah. Oh, it is good. Yeah, I don't know what to say. They're to renovate cities on all of privately known. It's kind of the same. And again, oh, it's not even Zoom. Yeah, if you go to their Facebook page, I bet there's a Zoom. I think it's more than yes, so if you're able to do that. And you too, great. You have enough to start. Okay, we'll start with the color. We run out of time. No. Good, it's pretty close to the color of this page. Doing good. Which is that's I finally got that. And it is just really good. Stop at the itch and do what I just do. You're doing great. Now, I make a suggestion. Morning. Work on this. In It's much more difficult. Whatever watch.
Well, I want the thing clearly. College.
Yeah. Yes. 1 minute, you want to. So we have 30 or a few more minutes left, 30 or more minutes left. I'm not going to talk to you guys at home. You look really focused. I didn't realize that's a Cezanne. Yes, very nice. It's terrific. Notice where the edges of these are. You are ahead. So you do. Touch each other. And you can see that where they touch. That's really good. I don't know if you want to go to the flat.
Well, I was so excited. I was trying to go for like gray. But then I was so excited.
So I would leave the dark out and compare this.
Okay.
I see that. There's no white. No white. Just use more water. Water. Want to make this outline a little bit lighter. More water. And spread it out. So we're done. Part of it. Let it dry. What are you going to do about the white? Anything else? This one? Do just dirty water. Artists do that just to fill in the space. Wait, I like the part out. Love what you're seeing. Push the chair in and stand behind it. I can get this. Then you have something to lean on.
Yeah. She went to that's the guys. But she's kept the house at the shore, so she. Teaching is respect and we were trying to. Right, yeah. Well, one of those, the teacher, an African American lady, returned yesterday. She needs to come all the way from Harvard. Now she lives in. Next colors. Let it dry. When it's dry, very fine brush like this. Very, very deep brush. Can't find it. That's no color. You know what I mean? It has no color. It is transparent. That's no color. So when this paper is dry, what you could do is take a different media. You could take maybe a white colored pencil
It's probably not gonna work. It's probably not gonna work on the wet skin. You have to let the paper dry. Or I don't think it's gonna work while the paper's wet. And dry. Right, I'm eating this. You need it for still life, you wish. Never, no food waste in the recycling bins, guys. Food waste is garbage or compost. Plastic goes in recycling. You just have to think about it. Not used to think. Very wonderful. I wouldn't do anything else to this part. I'd leave it. Until it gets finished. Are you good, my friends at home?
Good-ish.
Doing good.
Do you want to show Margot? Are you having problems?
Just, yeah, I could show, I suppose.
Okay, I have folks here, I have to stop the share. Sally, sorry, I gotta stop the share. So Margot, I'm gonna spotlight you. What are you struggling with? This looks good.
The water. Making it look like water.
Try
Yeah.
using maybe a larger brush and spreading some of that dark gray. Try and blend it more into the lighter areas.
Okay.
I think maybe that's why it's not reading like water. Make it waterier by adding more water, if that makes sense. See if that helps.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Just a little bit.
Dina, you want to share? Okay, cool. Yeah, it's something blurry. Do you have a background, maybe? Nice. You're using oil pastel?
I am.
Are you going to paint over it or you're leaving it dry?
Well, that is a good question. I don't have watercolor paper, which is why I'm using the oil pastels. I always do like a rough draft in class and then I go and do something later. I wanted to do an acrylic of this on canvas.
Do it. I think the drawing's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But did you need advice?
Here's the original.
That's the Cezanne.
Yeah.
Did you need advice though? Is that why you wanted to share? Hold it up again.
Okay, here we go.
I think it's great. Can you lift it a little higher so I can see underneath the vase? I would, in the shadow area, you might want to go a little bit darker underneath the fruit too. Put a little shading. They must be casting some kind of shadow.
They are, and it's in the picture. I just haven't done that yet.
All right. Yeah, that's what it needs. Beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So glad you found the time to come back today. We've been missing you.
I've been missing you guys.
It's mutual. Doris, do you want to share or you're too busy working?
I'll share. I just have to untape it.
Okay.
I was doing watercolor. And I chose the Cezanne landscape.
Oh, I love it.
Yep.
I love this. This might be done. It's really beautiful color.
Yeah, it was just the tree in the foreground. I was trying to make that a little bit on one side. It looks like it needs to go a little wider, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you need something in your bottom right-hand corner.
Down here, right?
Yeah, you do. I agree. Not too dark though, maybe a
There.
little brighter.
Okay, I'll try that.
And then my only other thing, the sky reads a little flat to me. Maybe if you added a little more texture to the sky somehow.
Okay,
Maybe wet it and take some tissue or paper towel and, you know, kind of spot it.
okay. I'll try that. Thank you.
Love the color. It's really nice. E, I know it's tough for you to get on screen, but do you want to share? Okay, no worries. I understand. That's fine. Watching is a great way to learn. Have I missed anybody at home? I know Stephanie had to leave. Gosh, I wish there was a way people on YouTube could share, but I guess we haven't figured that one out yet, right? So I'm going to put this, I'm going to share the screen again
Stopper brush.
with the Cezanne Lestac.
Yeah, I'm very smart.
Okay, that's the poem. How'd that happen? Oh, we want this. I thought I clicked on this. I don't understand. There it is. Now, Laura, you answered this question last week, but I don't recall. If someone watches on YouTube, they have to register a library. Now, if you have to.
No, but what if you think somebody. Watch.
No, I'm asking, someone asked me to register.
Oh, okay.
Hands are for paper and plastic. Black hands are for paper. And somebody did it right here. This is recycled. So this is on the straw, on the other hand, not sure. But this is recycled. I put on blue.
Much more.
Love is made. You keep this and use it for collage work. What I would do, Robin, come back in 1 second. I let this dry, and you need Uniball and
Uh-huh.
to do some.
Oh, I like the drawing.
This is also. But the Uniball and do some scribble detail. It's gonna really bring this more to life. You're great.
They're like too cold.
Sometimes the brain is dropping. You have 4 more minutes until cleanup. Folks at home have shared already. Folks here want Laura to go around the camera. I'm so worried about these musicians who made their living in dancing on the opera. You know, years ago, 5 years. Boys. Really? She got snowing. She was playing the same sort of.
140-pound weight.
You,
I got my background up, don't worry about it. Okay, so we're doing Cezanne, so I did a Cezanne.
beautiful.
Okay, and I can't find my stump.
Wow, that's really.
Dina, you need to mute.
Oh, sorry.
They are being treated to the final performance of Phantom of the Opera. They kid musicians are now seeing Phantom of the last and final.
Did that happen in the school?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, there's a little bug on my painting. What is it? Tell it or what?
Don't smash it. Let the painting dry and then fall off.
Oh, it has wings. The smallest bug I've ever seen.
Coming. Stand like.
If I were home, I just.
Judy, this is great. This is great. Yeah. We should start out with our viewers. Some of these if you same time zone. Alice, fantastic. Don't pat my head. Don't pat my head.
Well, you know that.
Is that true? A bowl upside down.
Don't like her to kind of like. Each night get a. Yeah, by the way, it's a don't go over time.
Signal to. Yeah.
So, my key is later. So you're in kind of like a slate that it's called. It's kind of like a here. They always refill the service. So there's also opposite and the extreme side of that thing. So it's kind of like we call it a thing because there is a place where they set up a lot of people where they survive by strict schools, you know. But sometimes I don't trust it. I don't trust it because I consider it a factor. But yeah, you should call it a black market because I get it. I was like that. One time when my his car stolen, and we do those. I buy some of the car. That's to get doing that. My dad is rebuying stuff.
That's not, I mean, it's funny, but.
Yeah. But yeah, next week I maybe
Who you are? Congrats. Do you want to announce it again to everyone?
yeah, I'm looking for the exact address.
Okay, since you find that, we'll make an announcement. What? Oh, we should have done it earlier. If you send me an email with the exact information, I will send an email out there.
All right, I'll do that then.
Also, there's something to do with cultural exchange. Like crossword and jigsaw puzzles. If somebody wants to do exchange.
That's cool. I'm gonna get these of the New York Times. Selling me here.
Oh, you tried to make a lot of words out of do like 15 or 16, stretch your brain. Oh, good.
Not ever did. Today's one for today is really. Oh, yeah. They give you 7 letters. And the task is to find as many words as you can using only those 7 letters. And always use the letter in the middle. Oh, that's a nice idea. Alice won't. I don't like this word.
I like word.
Not challenging. So. The big one. Any I can do it in a minute. The big one.
I just figured
It's really nice to do it. Do you do it every Sunday?
yeah, but I mean, I'll see.
You're smart. That's why you have to go to the council meeting. I'm checking the time, everyone, I think. For folks here, it's probably time to start cleaning. Yeah, folks here, it is cleanup time. Folks at home, are we good?
Yep.
I found it.
Oh, Daniel has an announcement to make. Everybody listen up. Daniel, yeah, come. I'm going to stop the share. And Daniel, come talk into the camera here, please.
I'm gonna, me and other people are gonna be exhibiting at least three or more of our paintings in the 22nd annual Festival of the Arts for in St. Francis of Assisi in Hatfield, New Jersey.
Come here, come to the camera, Dan. Okay, repeat that for everyone, Daniel.
All right. 3 of my paintings is gonna be exhibit on the 22nd Annual Festival of the Arts in the St. Francis of Assisi building, which is in one Father Hages Drive, Haskell, New Jersey.
Thank you very much. And Daniel, if you send me that information, I will send an email out to everyone.
You know what? I'll do it right now.
Congratulations.
Yeah, did you go be on YouTube? You know, YouTube.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
If anyone takes a video of it, Daniel, I can share that with everyone.
Your email address, just in case.
Oh, that's Conch Art, C-O. Oh, this is being recorded.
Or you can write it if you want. Yeah, let's put your email address.
Thank you. You're so good. I mean, you need to press me, but anyway. You want to do.
Congratulations, Daniel. Thank you for sharing. And good luck. Sell art, kid. You're welcome.
Oh, yeah, I took your advice and I took pictures. I took pictures of my painting.
Send me those too if you like, and I'll share them with everyone.
Once I finish, with permitting and adjusting the Photoshop.
Good. All right, everyone at home, we are starting to wrap it up here. Next week, everybody listen. This is really important. Can you hear me? Eileen, can you hear me? Next week, you have an assignment. Everyone at home, you have an assignment too. You are bringing in a poem that you will illustrate. No, well, it can be a poem that you yourself wrote, absolutely. But
Okay.
any poem that you like, that you want to illustrate. Well, that's another option, Alice. Alice had a great idea. I wish I'd thought of it earlier. If you have a work of art that was inspired by poetry, that you would like to do something after that you're inspired by, you can do that as well. I'm sorry. Anyone at home who needs to share again? We've all shared once, but if you want to share again, there's some kind of delay on my camera. So be patient. I've become unplugged too. I don't think that would make a difference. Oh, my Mac is about to go to sleep. It's been plugged in the whole time, I thought. Yeah,
Well, that's true.
maybe I unplugged it and didn't realize it. Anyone at home want to share before we sign off?
Already did.
Dina, you're smiling. Does that mean yes?
Hang on. I put some shadows in.
Oh yeah, look, wow, that's awesome. I would do a little shadow in the background as well. Not
Okay.
quite as dark as you have on the bottom, but where up close to the edges of the leaves and maybe the top of the tulip.
Uh-huh.
Make it a little bit darker, not a lot. Beautifully done. All right. Margot, I don't want to have any sibling rivalry here. Do you want to share? Okay.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, doesn't this work more as water now? This is terrific.
Yeah, I did need to connect the shadows in the water with the rest of the water.
Terrific.
Okay,
Mika, did you really want to share, Mika, or did? Yes. All right. Margot, beautiful.
Okay, thanks.
Coming along well. Very nice. All right. Not a problem. Eileen, I got Mika's first, so I'm gonna do Mika next. Do not compare your work to anyone else's. So this is Mika's still life.
Wow. Good job.
Oh, I sit next to her.
Yeah, our magic might rub off.
Nice use of the dark outline. Sally, you have to ask people first if they want to share their work. Sally is, oh, look how great Eileen's drawing is. This is a still life that I created for her with lots of objects. And she's just starting to use color. Bravo,
Whoa.
really
Bravo.
well done.
Good job.
I have colored pencil at home, so I can finish it.
It's terrific. Yeah, finish it. Bring it next week so we can see it finished.
I'm gonna let you.
Watch
show
your
this.
head.
It's too insane of a painting, but
Okay, this is Robin's. Robin used acrylic. I absolutely love
Very
this.
Very
Good
safe.
job.
but Cezanne influenced me.
It's
Anyway.
very Cezanne-esque. Cezanne,
Good job, Robin.
Yeah, very Cezanne-esque.
gorgeous colors, right? And done in acrylic. Pat, did you want me to share yours? No, now they're gone. These are Pat's, delivered by Sally. Did you want me to share them?
No problem. This is my young sister.
Ask.
Sally, where is your painting? Your painting is awesome.
My family, young sister.
Wow.
Nice. Good
Great.
job.
It's hard to show the whole thing. This is Pat's,
Gorgeous.
right behind you.
Beautiful.
Very good.
That's her still life. Here is her landscape.
She did too.
Nice.
Beautiful color, and I love the dark outlines. All right. Anyone I've missed who wants to share? Eileen, do you want to share yours? Judy, you want to share? Daniel, did you want to share yours?
All right.
And E's already left. Oh, well, E was just watching today. This is Judy's fantastic still life.
Great job.
Really well done.
Very good.
And Daniel's. Alice, do you want to share yours?
Nice. Nice, nice. Like the effect.
It's kind of white.
Really nice by Daniel.
Well done.
I'm really proud of everyone. Where's Alice? Okay. And Sally, where's your picture? All right, we're going to do Sally next.
Good job.
Sally had a breakthrough today. I'm really proud of the fact that Sally painted the whole background first, which is an idea that I've been trying to convince all of you to do for the last, I don't know how many years. It really works when you do this. Paint the whole paper first. And then come back in to do the details. Well done, Sally. Sally's proud of herself, which is even more important than the fact she's done a great painting. And we saved the best till last. Alice did a beautiful still life.
Great job.
You can see the straight run through from Cezanne to Matisse in this painting, right? This painting is so Matisse. Very strong lines in this, Alice. Well done. Well done, everyone. Gosh. And people at home, again, it's so frustrating that I'm not there with you working, but I think you did fantastic. I will see you all next week. Bring a poem with you, a poem of your choosing.
Okay.
Have a wonderful week, everyone.